Convergence RE to FA. Good, good, very good. So now it's time to cover the reverse process. Okay, what we are supposed to cover, the reverse process, and the reverse process is for converting FA to RE. Okay, that's what we are going to cover now. Everybody please check, is my screen visible to you?
Yes, sir.
How? Yes sir, I have not even shared it. Now I have shared it.
Maybe I saw a picture, that's why I said yes.
No, I have not even shared that. How it could be visible? Fine, now check.
Yes, sir, is there.
Perfect. Now let's start discussing further things. So now we have to cover TC3. The PPT should be there. No PPT. Okay. Let me get it from the folder. So today we are going to cover the reverse process, which is FA to RE conversion. All right. Anybody has tried this one? Done with this? What about the online students? Anybody who have tried this? Can I have some answer from the online students? If you have not tried, not a problem. Just tell me that you have not tried. No problem. You have tried. Okay. Anybody who have tried and found some issues with this? Anybody like that? Who have tried and found some doubts? Some problems are there because of which you are not able to do that. Anybody would like to ask any question? Matthews, were you able to do it successfully or there were some problems? No doubt. Okay, fantastic. So I hope the people who must have tried uh, it's with giving full time to it. Okay, then you might have not faced any problem because it's a simple process we have already discussed, right? And if you have not given the proper time to the question, then you might have faced some problems. Anyways, that's what we are supposed to do. Now we are going to go for RE to FA conversion. Sorry, FA to RE conversion. Okay, so now it is FA to RE conversion process. Okay, this process is done by a theorem that's called Arden's theorem. So over Arden's theorem, you can have all different types of questions. Okay, from Arden's theorem, only statement can come. You can also have a statement with proof, and you can also have statement with proof with example. So it's like Mahil-Néron theorem was also important. Arden's theorem is also important. The difference is that generally, not with respect to every paper, but generally what happens from Mahil-Néron theorem, only big questions come. 8 marks question, 6 marks question. Those type of questions usually comes. All right. But with Arden's theorem, all types of questions are possible. The reason, because you have three things to do here. One is Arden's theorem statement. This can be asked in just 1 mark question also. One is Arden's theorem's proof. This proof can be asked in 2 marks, 4 marks, even 1 mark also. It's not a big proof. You can do it easily. Okay. And one is question. So based on Arden's theorem, you have to solve one question. So you have to you have to convert one given FA into the regular expression. That is also possible. So if one thing comes, then according to that marks will be awarded, but this can be come in any combination. All right. So you have to prepare it in that way, that each and everything with respect to Arden's theorem you should be clear enough with. All right, fine. Now let's move ahead. So first let us write the statement of Arden's theorem. And for writing this statement, I will say this statement and all of you please note down. Okay, the exact statement. Remember that I am going to tell you the exact statement. You are also supposed to write the exact statement in your exam paper if it comes. So everybody from the online students also, am I audible properly? From the online students also, please write this. I'm just I'm just dictating it. Everybody please write. Let P and Q, let P and Q be two regular expressions. Let P and Q be two regular expressions. The people who are not attending the lectures, I would simply like to say one thing to them, that attending lecture or attending or not attending lecture is definitely your choice. Okay, but when exam paper will be there, remember it will be the choice of question, that whether it wants to be solved by you or it doesn't want to be solved by you. So if you will not be attending classes, you will definitely face problems. I told you that automata is not something which you can learn just by learning online. All right, it may create problems because innovative questions, new questions are framed in this particular subject. Not a fixed set of questions is there. At any point of time, a new question can be framed, and in that case, it will be tedious for you if you will not be attending classes. Remember this thing. Yeah, so let P and Q be two regular expression over alphabet sigma, over alphabet sigma. If P does not contain null string, if P does not contain null string, then then R is equal to, after then you are supposed to write this, R is equal to Q plus RP. R is equal to Q plus RP has a unique solution. Q, R is equal to QP star. Write this statement, everyone.
Sir, can you repeat once again?
Let P and Q be two regular expression over alphabet sigma if P does not contain null string, then R is equal to Q plus RP has a unique solution. R is equal to QP star. This is the overall statement of this one. Okay, this is statement of Arden's theorem. Now we are going to get the proof of Arden's theorem. Got the point? Now we are going to get the proof of Arden's theorem. Now let's understand that proof. Okay, how to prove this Arden's theorem. What this theorem is saying, that this equation R is equal to Q plus RP. Let me tell you one thing, for understanding the proof of Arden's theorem and for doing questions with Arden's theorem, you must have the brain of a mathematician. I don't have the brain of mathematician. That's why I am not so comfortable with Arden's theorem that I can try every new question. In obviously up to my level I'm talking about. Okay, so all of you please remember this thing. What is the difference in computer science numerical part and mathematics numerical part is that in computer science numerical part, mostly what happens, things goes with the algorithms. So if you know the method, if you know the proper method, then most of the questions will be solvable. You will be able to solve most of the questions. For example, if you talk about operating system, if you talk about DBMS, talk about any subject. So if you if you are aware with the process, then most of the questions can be solved. But in mathematics, what happens? In mathematics, even if you are aware with the basic formula, even if you are aware with the basic structure of the solution, then even it is difficult to solve each new question, because that formula is applied in every new question in a different way. Okay, so Arden's theorem is that kind of topic. You have to carry a brain of mathematician. You have to be little more innovative. Okay, fine. Let's start with this. So the equation what we have is R is equal to, let me use this different slide for this. What is the equation? R is equal to Q plus RP. Now, in order to find out the solution for this, what we can do, as you can see that, what is the value for R? This whole thing is the value for R, and we are reusing R over here. Okay, so in place of this R, what I can place? The value of R, which is Q plus RP. So what I can write? R is equal to Q plus, this I will be writing as Q plus RP into P. Okay, so what I will get from here? Q plus, now this will become QP plus RP square. Clear to everyone? What about the online students? Is that clear? Is this a step clear? There should not be any problem. It's quite simple to do. I have just simply substituted the value of R into the equation, nothing else. So place this value once more. Okay, so what you can place, R is equal to Q plus, this will become QP only, and there you will place Q plus RP, and here it is P square. So what it becomes? R is equal to Q plus QP plus QP square plus RP cube. If you keep on doing this, then what you will find plenty of terms of QP, and last term will be of RP. Clear? Last term will be of RP. RP power n, obviously. All right. So what kind of equation I can expect after doing some more steps? R is equal to Q plus QP plus QP square plus QP cube plus QP power 4 plus few more QPs, and then I will be having power n, and at last what I will have? R P power n. Clear? That's okay. It is not going to matter because we are going to neglect it only. Okay. What are you saying? About what? Acha, QP will be power of n minus 1. That's okay. It's not going to be the problem. We can keep it to n minus 1 also, because at last what we are going to discover is, we are going to discover one star for that, and star includes everything. N minus 1, everything is included. Whatever power you want, you can carry. Not a problem. Okay, fine. Now, just for now, neglect this term. Why to neglect this term? We will learn after doing the question. First priority is for the question. So let us first move to the question. We will complete this proof. Just, just we are neglecting this term. Okay, why we are neglecting it, I will let you know afterwards. Okay, consider this part only. Okay, so what you may get, if you take Q as common, if I take q as common, then what I will have 1 plus p plus p square plus p cube plus up to p power n minus 1 or n, whatever you want you can take. Okay, fine. Now this is one regular expression, right? Because initially we have discovered this only, that q and p are the regular expressions. Okay, so this one is the regular expression. Okay, fine. And what is this? I will tell you that why I have neglected this rp power n. I'll tell you this. Okay, this is the regular expression. Now this quantity is what? It's a numeric value. Is everybody getting it? All the online students? Everybody is being comfortable with this, or there is any kind of problem? Fine, good enough. Good. So we have to convert this one, which is a numeric quantity, into a regular expression. What is the reason? Because without converting it into the regular expression, you will not be able to perform any operation. Numeric quantity cannot be operated with regular expression. For example, if I write a star multiplied by numeric value 2, is it possible to operate? Of course not. It's a numeric value, it's a regular expression, so they cannot be operated. So what I'm supposed to convert? I'm supposed to convert it into the regular expression. Okay, so I know very well that if there is anything whose power is 0, it is equal to 1. Yes or no? Obviously yes. Okay, whose power is 1, so it is supposed to be, whose power is 0, so it can be stated as 1. So in spite of this 1, I will use this p power 0. Okay, so r is equal to q, and there I will write p power 0, p power 1, p power 2, up to p power n. If you want, you can carry to n minus 1, not a big problem. And finally this thing becomes what? In terms of regular expression, what is this? P star, including, because it is including null also. So p power 0 to p power anything goes to p star. So r is equal to q p star. That's for the solution we have got. Clear to both of you? What is the status of online students? Is it clear? Don't focus on that rp power n. I'm going to solve it. Don't worry. Everyone is clear for this? Fine.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Now let us move to the question first. Okay, so as I told you that three types of things can come. One is statement, one is proof, and another one is question. So now it's time to have a question with us. So we are going to have one finite automata with us, and we are going to convert that finite automata in regular expression. Let's have it. I told you already that you have to carry a brain of a mathematician, right? I'm writing here one finite automata and I'm telling you the basic procedure. But remember that a different question may come and that may have a different way of application. Same thing you have to implement. Just you have to think that which state should be maintained. Keep drawing this diagram along with me. Keep drawing. Make your drawings along with me. Everybody have drawn? What is the status of online students? Have you drawn this diagram? Reply fast.
Yes, sir.
Good. Now let us begin solving this and listen to it very, very carefully. What we have to do here, we have to make the equations for every state. All right, we have to make equations for every state. And in order to make equations, what you have to think, let me tell you. For example, if I see this diagram, okay, can you tell me that what are the different ways to come to Q0? From which states we can come to Q0? All the online students can also participate. They can say their stake.
Q2 and Q3.
Q2 and Q3. There are two states from which I can come to Q0. So what I can say that Q0 can be achieved if I pass which symbol to Q2? B,
B.
right? So if I pass B to Q2, that is one way to come to Q0. Or if I pass which symbol to Q3?
A.
A. So if I pass A to Q3, then there is one way to come to Q0. There is another way to stay on Q0. What is that way? To have null with you. Is everyone clear for this? Because it's the initial state. If I don't have anything, I am on Q0 only. So like this, how I have created equation for Q0, all of you are supposed to create equations for all these states. All right. So I'm giving a time of 2 minutes to everyone. This is 8 o'clock now. Okay. By 8 2. Okay. Everyone should be ready with all the equations. I'm leaving you with the diagram and checking the note sheets of offline students. Okay. Make sure to complete it in 2 minutes. Okay. Make equations for all the states. Everybody have done this? All the online students, have you done with this?
Yes, sir.
Let's go through with the states. Okay, what states we have with us? So how to make equations? Tell me the equation for q1, q2.
There is no
Okay,
Q1, sir.
there is no q1. Okay, okay, okay. Actually, let me rewrite this. I might have forgot that. So let's have it for q1. This is q1. Or do one thing. In spite of making this as q1, because you have to change all your equations, let's make this one as q1, so that only one equation have to change. All right. So just in spite of this q0, I have to write here q1. All rest of the states will remain same. Okay. Do this change. In spite of q0 as the initial state, just put it q1, so that only just one of the equation has to change. Rest of the equations can remain as it is. Yes. So this is for q1. Now let us have it for q2. So tell me the equation for q2. What equation for q2? q1 dot a. What is there for q3? q1 dot b. What is there for q4? q2 dot a, q3 dot b, q4 dot a plus q4 dot b. Okay, so these are the four equations what we have. All the online students, keep focusing. All right, otherwise you'll not be able to understand this. It is a little bit tricky. Okay, so wherever you have doubts, you can ask me on the spot. So what we have here, ultimately with these four equations, what are you saying? Huh? Wait. Yeah. So let's get back to this. So we have q1. Okay, we have q2, we have q3, we have q4 with all equations. Now let me tell you that what is now our target. What is our target? If you consider this equation, q is equals to q plus rp. Now if you check this thing, that this thing is same, and this is representing state. This is representing what? State. That means what we are supposed to have, we are supposed to have this whole equation in terms of one state itself. Like the state which is in the left hand side, that same state should come in the right hand side. All the online students, I hope you must be clear with this. Are you clear for this thing? We have to convert it in that way so that it becomes a single equation within one state only. Okay, not multiple states should come, so that we can match up to the format of q is equal to q plus rp, because in q is equal to q plus rp, we have same state at the left hand side and we have same state at the right hand side. All right, fine. So how to go for it? We have to play smartly. Like for this question, and this methodology may change from question to question. That's what you have to think on every question, that how to get it in that way so that we can have whole equation in one state itself. Okay, so In place of Q2, if I put this value, and in place of Q3, if I put this value, okay, now what will happen? Let's make a new equation. So I will have Q1 is equal to what I will have here, Q1 dot AB, right? I will have Q1 dot AB, not AB, sorry, BA we will have. Now that's right, AB. We will have Q1 dot AB, all right? And next we will have Q1 dot BA, right? Next we will have Q1 dot BA. And remember, for regular expression, Q1 dot AB and Q1 dot BA is not same. These are different things. Okay, A dot B is different from B dot A. A plus B, B plus A is same, but A dot B, B dot A is not same. And the remaining epsilon I'm supposed to write. All right. Now from this place, if I take Q1 as common, as you can see that now everywhere Q1 is there. So AB plus BA, and rewrite this in the form like just keep null before than this. Q1 is equal to null plus Q1 dot AB plus BA. Everybody should be clear with this step. All right. Now if you compare it with Q is equal to Q plus, sorry, this was R is equal to Q plus RP. Okay. Now if you compare it with this, check it carefully. This becomes Q, this becomes R. This Q1 is playing the role of R. Okay. Here, this is playing the role of Q. There also Q1 is playing the role of R. That's why it has to come into the same state, because at this state, at this place and at this place, we have to carry one same state, not multiple states. All right. And this is playing the role of P, isn't it? Right. This particular equation have what solution? R is equal to QP star. This is the equation of Arden's theorem. All right. This equation is having what kind of solution? R is equal to QP star. All right. Now what is Q here? Epsilon dot. What is P here? AB plus BA, and that reaches to whole star. Okay. So if you make a dot with epsilon, then it becomes that string only. So AB plus BA whole star is the equivalent regular expression for the given finite automata. All right. Is everyone clear with this? All the online students, give me a quick feedback.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Clear.
Yes,
Fine.
sir.
So now I am going to give you some time for making notes. Okay. So you can have 3 minutes for this. I will just scroll down to this diagram you must have already written. I'll wait on every slide for 1 minute. Okay. So start doing now. If you want to write some notes, you can write it. This equation, you only solved it. I don't think so there's anything to write. You people only have written this. All right. If you want to write this, you can write this. Fine. So that's done with this process. Now, quickly, we have to start with the new topic. All right. So with this, we are almost done with regular expressions. So as I told you that regular expression and finite automata both represents regular language only, but we will discuss regular language and regular grammar afterwards. First, we are supposed to discuss a new type of automata, and let me first tell you the need of that thing. All right. Let's come back to the finite automata. What was the finite automata process? It used to check for a certain pattern. All right. And based on that checking, two possibilities were there. Probably the pattern may match and pattern does not match. All right. Two possibilities were there. If pattern matches, then automata accepts the string. And if pattern does not matches, it rejects the string. All right. Everybody is already clear for this fact that it happens. It's the regular process. What happens now? Check it out. Is our actual compiler doing this thing? Tell me this. What happens? Suppose on my C compiler or on any language's compiler, if I have executed one program, okay, then there are two possibilities. It may be containing errors or it may not contain errors. So it is error free. Okay. In both of the cases, you must have noticed that compiler generates some output. Yes or no? What is the output? If it is error free, then also it reports that it has zero error, zero warning. And if it is erroneous, then what it generates? It generates the error report. And what is this error report? It tells you that what error is there and on which line there is a error. All right. Now, if you compare these two workings, because initially we have discussed that basically finite automata is representing a compiler only. It's a small compiler which is just tracing for the patterns, and it is finding out that whether a particular string matches to a certain pattern or it doesn't match. All right. But if you see the actual working of compiler, is it matching with your actual working of finite automata? Answer is no, because that actual compiler is generating outputs and your finite automata is not generating any output. That is one difference, right? Your finite automata is not generating any output, but compiler is generating output. Apart from that, compiler does not reject any program, because if it starts rejecting the programs, then how will it generate the output? For generating output with respect to some input, First, I have to accept that input. Yes or no? Are you getting this point? If I want to generate, it's a very simple thing. If I want to generate some output with respect to some input, then at least I have to accept that input. Then only I will be able to generate output. If input is coming and I'm rejecting it, I'm not even accepting the input, how will I generate the output? I can't generate, right? So the actual working of automata, what we have studied, and the actual working of compiler, what we know, these two things are not matching with each other. All right. So we have to map it. We have to map it because our final objective was what? This automata will become a subject compiler design in the next semester or probably next to next semester. And then the final objective when we will go to the industry, then the purpose is to design the compilers. So we have to align ourselves into that same direction. All right. So in order to do that, now we will study what? Finite automata with output. Till now, my finite automata was just saying whether it is accepting or whether it is rejecting. But now my finite automata will also generate output. All right. And there are two such machines which generate outputs. Two scientists were there. One scientist name was Moore and another scientist name was Mealy. So they have discovered two different machines. Moore has discovered a machine which was named by Moore machine, and Mealy also invented one machine that was named by Mealy machine. And these machines are nothing but finite automata only. But with the finite automata, we will start getting outputs. All right. What you have to take care is you have to take care about two things. What with respect to the tuples. So whenever you are defining the tuples of this finite automata, make sure to remember two things. First thing is that this finite automata is going to generate some output to you. Second thing is, don't forget that this finite automata is not going to reject any of the string. It will always accept the string because with respect to every input, I am supposed to generate some output. So there is no concept of rejection. I have to accept the string, then only I will be able to generate the output. Is that clear to everyone? I need a quick response.
Yes, sir.
Fine. So let's move ahead. Now let us talk about the tuples of Moore machine. Okay. At least one thing what I know is that this is also finite automata. So at least let me write the tuples of finite automata. So we have Q0, we have Q with us, we have F with us, we have sigma, or in fact after this Q0 let me write sigma here. Let's first complete the input part. Then we have Q with us, then we have F with us, and then we have delta with us. Okay, now we'll try to find out that whether these tuples will be useful or not, or we may need some other tuples. Okay, all these may be useful, probably some of them are useful and some of them are not useful, so we may need some different tuples. Okay, but before going to that thing, let us first take the attendance. If time will allow us, then we will take this class further. If time does not allow, we will switch off the class now. Okay. So let me take it to attendance. You must have got yesterday's lectures also in your account. I have uploaded them. PC3 and the date is 10th, na? 10th it is. Fine. I hope everybody will be attentive enough with respect to attendance, and everyone will mark attendance carefully. All right. I don't have to repeat this thing so many times that mark your attendance only on your column number. Am I audible to everyone? And check with the screen visibility also. Is it visible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So let's take it to the first column.
94 present, sir.
192.
After 94, who said?
157, sir.
157. Who else?
192.
Make it fast.
192.
112.
90.
192. Who else?
166 present, sir.
166 present. Anybody else? Make it fast. Make it fast.
199, sir.
199. Who else? Multiple people can also say at once. No need to say only one person at a time. Done with the first column. Anybody else remaining? Fine. Move to the second column.
173, sir.
173, 124, 110. Anybody else? 97. There is no 97. There is 97. Okay. 192,
193,
193,
193,
142, 193 I have marked. Anybody else from this column?
158.
158. Anybody else? Anybody else from the second column? Fine. Move to the third column.
201.
201. Anybody else from the third column?
174.
3,
174.
103,
103. Okay.
174.
174. Anybody else? Anybody else from the third column? 159. Fine. Anybody else? Fine. Done with this. Fourth column.
127.
175.
162,
195, sir.
117, sir.
Anybody else from the fourth column?
170.
Fine. Next column.
163.
183, sir.
163.
हो गया 163.
183,
183. Yes, done with 183. Anybody else?
131.
131. Anybody else?
176.
176. Anybody else from this column? Fine, done with this. Last column.
177.
sir. 132.
1,
177.
2, 177. Anybody else?
185. 185.
185. Anyone else?
3207.
3207. Anyone else from this?
198.
198. Anybody else? Fine.
Sir,
Yes.
195 in the fourth column.
195. In which column it is?
Fourth column.
Fourth column. In fourth column there is no 195.
195.
In fourth column there is no 195.
Yes, thank you.
Sorry, 179.
Where it is 195? Huh?
It's done, sir. Thank you.
It's marked only. Why you are saying now? I have marked this. First check your screen at least.
Your screen not
195
visible
are,
for me. That's why.
why it should not be
I have
visible?
poor connection. It came late.
I am presenting. Fine. Anyways, let it be. Done with the attendance. Fine. So that's fine with this lecture. Rest of the things we will cover in the next lecture. Okay. See you then. I'll share on the group.